This car behind me, we're going to talk about this car today. Belongs to my buddy Steve, who you might have seen in the previous video where we kind of toured some of those other cars that, you know, we're selling and getting rid of. But this is a special car. It's pretty badass. I think you guys are going to like it. So check it out. Let me know what you think. And if there's any other cars that you see in the background, like this car here, or that car there, or the cars upstairs, let me know in the comments if you want to see videos on these cars, and we'll see what we can do.
Is this getting recorded?
Yeah.
Oh shit. The bumperettes and stuff, you don't see a lot of white 57, just like you see it right now.
Wow.
The body is right on the frame. It was an old street racing car, like from San Fernando.
Let's do that. Was it 57?
Yeah.
Was that the micro dice one?
Oh, the white one, yeah.
Since it's right there in the center.
Yeah. You want to just get this thing uncovered?
Yeah. When did you get this car?
It's got 2017 tags on it.
Oh, so it's been a minute.
Yeah. I think it's all registered. I just haven't put tags on it. I get the tags come in the mail.
Oh, maybe you should bring this out soon.
I had it out yesterday, doing some burnouts in it and stuff.
What year is this? This is 57, right?
Yeah, 57.
How do you tell the difference between a 57 and 56 and a 55?
They're pretty drastic. The 57, they all have big differences, actually. Like 57, is this getting recorded?
Yeah.
Oh shit. The 57, you know, it has more of the fins on the back. And then if you look right here next to it, you got the 57, 56.
Oh, that was a big difference.
And so they have more of a whole different taillight setup.
Oh, okay.
Taillights on the 57 are in the bumpers, the bumperettes and stuff. And then you got your 56 and 55, the 55 has it's a different taillight structure and housing and stuff, but it's more similar to the 56. So the 55 and 6 share a lot more similarities than the 57. The 57 is totally different. The only thing that I think is still interchangeable is I'm pretty sure the doors are the same, 5, 6, and 7, but everything else is different. The roof line's the same, I think, on the Bel-Airs or the Post or whatever.
What's your favorite year of the three?
You know, I really like them all. I'm kind of like a 55 guy. It just depends. They all look cool. I'm more of a Post guy, but like if a Bel-Air's done really well, the Bel-Air Hardtop, I should say.
Yeah,
They make a Bel-Air Post, they make a Bel-Air Hardtop. So, but you know, whether it be a Post or a Hardtop, and I like this car just because you don't see a lot of white 57s.
No.
And it's got the right stance and everything, so I'm kind of partial to this car.
Yeah. Well, okay, so this car, this is a pretty unique car because I've never seen one built quite like this, because it's modern but not modern, right? It's old school with some new stuff.
Yeah. So
obviously it's been restored.
My friend Mike Radish built the car. I remember when he was building the car, and so I kind of know the full build from start to finish on the thing. So it's been done. I mean, the whole bottom of the car is just gorgeous underneath. Everything's been touched. It's been real mild mini tubbed. I think it's got Earl Williams rear suspension on it. It's got a 9-inch in it. Everything's been done on this car. But when Mike does stuff, he tries to stay kind of true to stock, with the exception of like doing modifications on the drive line and suspension and things like that.
But these wheels didn't come on the car. These are your wheels that you put on here,
no,
right?
No, these actually are the wheels that originally Mike did for this car. I actually got the back wheels back, and then I did another set of front wheels to match what Mike originally had on.
So I know this could be hard to see on camera with the lighting here, but these are not chrome. These are
special coating.
Special coating. I don't know if you want to divulge what that is. I'm sure some people might understand what they are, but this is kind of like a signature thing, because when I first met you had most of your cars had this kind of plating on the Americans. These are the OG Americans, not the newer ones.
Nope,
right?
Those are originals.
So
and those are straight spokes on the back, and those are what they call crow's feet or D spokes on the front.
Yeah. So was it 15.5?
Those are 15.6s.
15.6s and the rear is 15.8?
Those are 15.8.5s in the back.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I've also, seen around the shop that you have quite a few Americans laying around.
Yeah, I got a couple.
Would you say you have the most in the country? Because you got quite a bit.
I got a few. Yeah.
It's so modest.
More than I should. More than I should. This aluminum headed 427 deal that Mike put together. If I'm not mistaken, I think this one's been dynoed down at West Tech. Don't look too close at it. I can tell the carburetor's starting to weep. So, but
what does that mean, weep?
It's the gaskets start seeping a little bit, and you start seeing the fuel start running down the intake manifold. And
okay.
I'm just kind of seeing that for the first time right now, realizing I need to get in there and clean that.
Yeah.
Kind of a mess.
What kind of power does this thing make?
I'm sure this motor probably makes 650 to 700. It runs pretty good. The cars, Mike had it at the drag strip quite a few times, and the thing ran like, I think 1170s, 1180s.
Wow.
So
just as it sits right now, the full interior, everything?
Just like you see it right now.
Wow. That's a fast little street car.
No, and I know that it definitely runs that because you can feel it in the car. I've been fortunate enough to drive enough of these cars that are fast.
Yeah.
And you can tell this thing would definitely run in the 11s. There's no two ways around it.
What kind of trans has it got?
It's Turbo 400.
Turbo 400, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Anything special about it? It's just...
It's just built. I'm sure it's built.
Yeah.
It's built. It's got a shift kit in it, stuff. It's got a converter in it.
Yeah.
So, this thing's a really, really good combination because it's super friendly on the street, very docile, but then it gets with the program.
Yeah.
So this is a cool car that would surprise you because you roll down the street and you're rolling 20 miles an hour or something, and you smash the gas and it'll blow the tires off of it.
Yeah.
So it's fun.
What's up with this interior? Is not stock, right?
Yep, that's a stock. That's
Really?
a stock interior.
No shit.
Yeah, it's a stock interior. It's all redone, of course, but that's a stock interior.
Like this is how it would come from the factory,
Correct.
brand new.
Correct.
No shit,
Yep.
dude. That's cool.
Yep. That's all Ciadella.
That's what this material's called?
No, that's the company that makes all this interior parts and stuff. There's a place out of Arizona called Ciadella.
So they do like the OEM style.
They do all the covers and all that stuff, and then you take and cover it. They don't do the covering on the seats. They send you the upholstery already pre-stitched and made up, and then you either do it and you either do your own foam or you take it to an upholstery guy.
Dude, that's cool. And then obviously those gauges are aftermarket.
Yeah, so
is the bezel fact?
That's a friend of Mike's. Is a really good machinist, and so he did all of that. He made all the cones and all of the buckets for like the fuel gauge down there and the tack up there. He made all of that.
He made this?
Yeah.
Oh shit, that's cool.
His name's Jeff. Really good guy.
Wow. Is this column? This is not factory.
That's an aftermarket column.
Okay,
yeah.
Okay. Was this car originally white?
I don't think so. I could be wrong. That'd be a question I'd have to ask Mike. I just remember when this car was in his shop, and it was just I can't even remember if it was in primer or if it was bare metal back then, and it was in pieces, and he just started doing his thing, and just like in Mike's fashion, that's what's cool about Mike is when he starts building a car, he just tunnel visions on it, and he just obsesses, and that's all he works on until it's done. So,
do you know how long it took him to build this car?
Couldn't tell you. Quite a few many years for sure. It wasn't like it was just done in a year. This was done over time.
How many Bel-Airs do you have right now? I know you got a few. I mean, we're sitting in front of
I
three.
have 1, 2, 3, 4. So I have 4 57s. 2 55s, no 3, because my dad's race car's a 55. So I have.
And you still have that
I take
car.
that back. So I have 4 55s. I forgot.
I have to do a running tally.
I forgot. Yeah. I lose.
So is that a total of 7 tri-5s?
Yeah, and then the white 56 right here.
So 8.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which is your favorite one so far?
You know what? Kind of like them all at this point. Obviously, the ones that are together. So this 57's this thing's just fun to cruise. That 56 is really badass. A gentleman by the name of Russ built that car, and then it was sold to another friend of mine, and then he decided it was time to move on and I purchased it from him, and a very well executed car. He did quite a bit of work. He bought it. It was a race car, I think, when he bought it, and then he went through the whole thing.
But I mean, it's a full-on race car, but you could roll it on the street if you could, right?
What's that?
You could roll it on the street, maybe.
Yeah. It's actually, that thing is actually, it's titled and it's licensed.
Okay.
So yeah, so that's kind of the goal. I want to build some type of mufflers. The thing's got the body is right on the frame on this, and what I mean by that is the frame is totally level with the bottom of the rockers, so you can't run an exhaust out the back. So what I'm going to do is I have a gentleman that does a lot of really high-end custom exhaust work, and I'm going to have him build me some headers, and we're going to use some Borla, like the shotgun style mufflers. I'm going to bring the headers up almost like they do a fender well, and then drop the mufflers down so I can drive the thing on the street and it's not so freaking loud. Because this thing is so loud, it's just obnoxious loud, because it's all aluminum interior, and everything echoes in this thing.
We'll have to do a whole other video on that. Well, it sounds like we're going to have to do 8 videos because you have 8 of these freaking things.
But this thing's a cool car. Getting back to your question, I have another 57 that's a gasser that I bought from a guy I know named Terry Stoker, and Stoker Speed Shop down south. It was an old street racing car, like from San Fernando, like years and years ago. And I guess it was a pretty fierce little car from back in the day. And it's cool. It's got stickers on it from San Fernando Raceway, and I think there's a Lions drag strip sticker. This thing's legit. It's got an old super gas motor in it, but it's an all patina, just car, original paint. It's, kind of beat, worn out looking, got some cracked windows in it and stuff, but it's got a super gas motor with M22 trans, which I've absolutely obliterated the trans once and rebuilt it. And it's got a 12 bolt in it, which I've absolutely ruined the purchase. So, and then the motor had so much blow by that the first pass you made, it would just oil slick the whole car. So pulled the motor out of it, and had my buddy Joey Gross go through it, freshen it all up. And it made good power. It made this thing's just an iron-headed 468 deal, and it made I think close to 700 horse, I think it made in the high 6s on torque on the dyno.
Jesus.
But that combination, that car is fun. That car is stupid fun because it's completely out of control. There's no tire on the back, so it just knocks the tires off. Even I remember the first time that I really was screwing around, and I was going down the road, and I was at a pretty decent speed. I was probably doing maybe 45 or 50 miles an hour because it's got low gears in it. And I stood on the gas, and it just absolutely obliterated the tires and started just hanging side to side to side in it. It was like, this car runs, man.
Yeah.
But now that we've freshened up the motor, that car probably run even better now.
Well, it sounds like we're gonna have to take a rip in it, and we'll just record it and show.
Did you've not ridden in that car?
No, it's one of the first cars I ever rode in with, and you scared the shit out of me with it.
That's right. I could have sworn you rode in that car.
Yes, I did. It was one of the first cars that I ever rode with you.
Most people don't like to ride in it a second time.
I can't imagine why. I mean, I would, because I'm stupid like that. But
that car is just fun because it's just so out of complete control, and it's just obnoxious. It's got a muffler tubing roll bar in it, and there's just nothing safe about the car, which is and being a 4-speed, it's just wild. You take people for a ride.
But that's what's really cool about it.
And that thing just hugs every curb. It's a curb-to-curb car. It does not go straight.
So contrasting that, and I'll try to put some video pictures of that car. Contrasting that to this beauty. I mean, obviously you have it running the whole gamut. You have a race car, which we'll do a video on. You have this beautiful car, which we'll do the video on currently. Is this a car that you would sell, or is this one of those ones that you would keep forever?
I would.
It's a loaded question, I know.
Yeah, I know. I like the car so much. I've had probably, honestly, 10, 15 people seriously approach me about buying the car. I've told them, it would be one of those price. I don't want to sell it prices, and so the bottom line is, if I got so much stuff. I mean, if somebody comes up with the right amount of cash, I'll sell it. Might regret it, like I have in the past on some, but You know, there's
So-
always going to be another one that's got to be built.
Yeah, I guess it's safe to say everything's for sale if the price is right, right?
Yeah, can be. There's a few things I got to stick with. You know? A few cars I got to hold out on.
Well, apparently we're going to have to do videos on all those cars because, you know, from the comments that we got on the first video that we did, people were asking what was in the background, what was this and that. So that's what we're doing. So, you know, if you like this car or any of the cars that you see, we're going to do a video on that car, which is a Black Widow. If you guys know what that, well, Black Widow clone, right?
Well, yeah, it is, but it's a numbers matching Black Widow, and it's an original V8 150, which is what the Black Widow were based on.
So it's really not a clone. It's how you would have built a Black Widow.
It's like in a lot of back in the days, and you know, I've learned a lot, but you know, for everything I've learned, there's even more stuff I don't know on these cars. They, you know, I know Chevrolet or whoever. Well, I know Chevrolet. It was GM, obviously. They sold some parts, and they also sold like actual design sheets on how things were made and built for the Black Widow, and which I have. Like, I'll have to get that paperwork out. That'd be something that's cool to look at, which none of this I really knew until I got this car. And then Larry Abel, who built the car, he educated me a lot. He's kind of the guru on these cars. When I was a kid, when I was in my teens, Larry Abel was known for 40 Fords and 57 Chevys. That's what he was known for. And he always just built the you know, top of the food chain cars, and he was always known for that. So he's the one that built the car, and I remember him telling me, he goes, I had a lot of these parts around to build this car for like 30, 40 years, and in between he's built, you know, probably a couple dozen of these things at least. And but yeah.
Well, I'm not going to pull the cover off because I'm going to tease you guys. I want to make sure. We'll do a whole video on this one. This one I'm really excited about because this car is quite amazing, and the story behind it is really cool. And the people who put it together are pretty interesting as well. As long as this one, you know, it's hard to keep track of all of Steve's cars, but yeah. So we'll keep doing more videos. But since people were commenting, seeing what Steve had in the background, I guess we're gonna have to shoot all the cars that Steve has, and we'll see what we come up with. So, yeah.